Yo, 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 yo. Let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear me, man. I'm coming in late. Coming in late this evening. I want to talk about this real quick instead of doing a whole little side video. You know what I mean? Talk to me, but talk to me nice. Let me know where you guys are checking in from before we get into this, man. This is some wild stuff going on. This is some wild stuff. Let me know what's going on with everybody. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know where you guys are checking in from tonight. What's happening? What's happening? Get the like up. Get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Y'all know I don't go live all the time, man. I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You know what I mean? Moreno Valley, North Carolina. We got Los Angeles in the building. Yo, Maryland, Dallas. Sheesh. Get the likes up. Oklahoma in the building. Miami. Shout out to Miami. I'll be in Miami soon. Bros in Seattle will make your knees rattle. Cleveland. Oaktown. The Natty. Ohio. Wyoming. Oh my goodness. Not Wyoming. I'm your hero. Yeah. Wyoming. What's good? Dade County in the building, 305. Shout out to New Orleans, the 504. Talk to me, but talk to me nice. We got 85 people in here. Let's run it up to 100, man. Y'all know I don't be on here all the time. Yes, sir, man. Listen, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. Listen, before we get into this, Vallejo, Alabama in the building. Shout out to everybody tuned in, man. Jeez. What is really going on, man? Hit the like button. Hit the like button for sure. Yo, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, man. I don't want to hold you guys too long tonight, but y'all see the thumbnail. Humble Imperfections. You on Twitch? Shout out. What's up, baby? On Twitch. Wow. Yeah, man. Not only, yeah, these rappers, man. So I don't, so for one, for you guys who don't know, man, for those of you guys who don't know, there's been a sweep. I think it's called Operation Lockdown or something like that. Mr. Boring, appreciate the $5 super chat. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, get the likes up, flying out on family vacay. Y'all enjoy. Shout out to Mr. Boring. But for those of you who don't know, there's been 18 plus Rollin 60s Crips, RSC, that have that are under a federal RICO sweep, right, and getting locked up. A lot of those are rappers, prominent community activists. Shout out to Big U. Yeah, somebody said Big Useless. That's what Luce Cannon calls them, Big Useless. I don't got no skin in the game. I'm just reporting the news. You know what I'm saying? I know Big U is not a dude that you play around with. That's who Debo off. If y'all didn't know, Debo off of Friday. That's who Debo off of Friday is based off of. He's based off of Big U. You know, Eugene. So, these dudes is getting hit. You know, with Rico is something you guys don't want to play around with or get caught up in. Well, you just don't want to get caught with any federal charges, period. You know, it's a 97% conviction rate when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? So what basically happened, from my understanding and reading into things, because obviously people were saying there's been a lot of speculation of Big U being behind, per Luce Cannon, who's also a Rollin 60s Crip, who said Luce Cannon he ordered the hit on Nipsey Hussle, according to Luce Cannon. I didn't say that. This is what Luce Cannon is saying. I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's related to Nipsey Hussle via Nipsey's cousin or something. So Nipsey's baby mama's cousin. I think that he's Nipsey's baby mama's cousin, Luce Cannon. So he said that Big U called him and said, did you hear about Nipsey being deleted? And he was like, nah. He called Nipsey right afterwards, and Nipsey was alive. 30 minutes later, he got the call that Nipsey was deleted. So there's a speculation about that with Big U being behind that because they wasn't rocking. And as far as, big was it Black Sam, shooting in the air with Big U. There is a confrontation going on with all that stuff like that. So, there's a lot of things going on. But besides that, being Big U with this Rico, he's being tied to running it like a mafia enterprise, tied to some murders. Supposedly there's I can't name the young man's name, but the mother was on the phone with Whack 100 talking about how they got the DNA was found on the guy's fingernail, underneath the guy's fingernails or something like that. And this was like, I guess, I don't know if this was a few days ago or a few weeks ago, where she was telling Whack 100 this, and he was recording the conversation and saying that the feds had said they was going to arrest Big U and a bunch of Rollin 60s Crips, in reference to this. So, along with them prominent names that you guys may know, Bricc Baby, who's been tied to a lot of guys in the industry, and also on No Jumper. He's one of the hosts on there who interviews. Luce Cannon, who's been on there with Whack 100. He rolls with Whack 100 as well. And you got the guy Yella Beezy, who I didn't even know Yella Beezy was a Rollin 60s Crip. But I guess he's a Rollin 60s Crip. So they just picked him up in Dallas for the murder of Mo3, which happened 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. So they picking up all these guys, you know what I'm saying? Buddy, what's his name? Quando Rondo, I think he's already doing his sentence, so they probably would have picked him up for something, pending. But all these guys are getting swept up. So the fact of the matter is, when I look at all this stuff, right, the feds, if you guys don't know anything about, and I have I have intimate knowledge or close knowledge of how the feds kind of work. The feds just don't come and get you just like the police do, right? You can have murders on you. You can have bodies on you. You can have several $1 million in, theft, larceny, committing all types of federal crimes. They just don't come and get you, right? That's why their conviction rate is so high. Feds just don't waste their time on anybody. So for them to act, for federal officers to come and get you, they got a case, and it's going to be a slam dunk case at that. It's not something that they playing around with. They're not about to waste resources and things like that. And, Big U, you guys probably saw the videos where he was talking about he don't know why they're bothering him. He wasn't on the run, but he said he's going to turn himself in. And, because he said it was bogus. This is BS charges. They trying to get him on, this, that, and the third. But a lot of these dudes who's like certified gangsters and whatnot, they doing a lot of talking online, which is a no-no. Not to say that Big U is doing so much talking, but a lot of these guys be doing a lot of talking, and these guys, they're recording everything, man. They're recording everything, and when they come after you, you like, what are we talking about here? Now all these guys, 18 plus guys, and if you a gangster, they say everybody claims they gangster, but there's so many dudes in prison that's telling, that's talking, this, that, and the third, especially when you're looking at 25, 30 years, and they got a way of doing things to you. What's my man name? The Latin King? Was it King Tone? I forgot his name, man. I forgot bro's name, but he said state and federal prison, they have a way of turning a straight man into a homosexual, right? When they start saying we're gonna do this to you, we're gonna do that, folks start talking. Folks really start talking, especially when they trying to get down to murders and this, that, and the third, and you terrorizing your neighborhood. Now I understand. So I don't come from LA. I used to live in LA. I don't come from LA, but I realize when you grow up in certain sections, you need protection and things like that. But I don't agree with the fact that the whole checking in as a black man, you making other black men check in with you, but you don't make anybody else of other races check in with you, and you basically a terrorist. in your own neighborhoods. You're terrorizing your own neighborhoods, and you're killing your own people, for lack of a better term. And I think Nipsey said it best. Nipsey said, when you going on missions as a gangster, you going looking for yourself. Isn't that crazy? When you going on these missions as a gangster, you basically going in another neighborhood looking for yourself, which is crazy. When you think about it, I'm going to do this because somebody told me to do it. You know what I mean? So imagine with such organization, if it was directed in a certain place or directed to a certain cause, as opposed to, domestic terrorism, if you will. Imagine what that could do, you know. But these dudes got picked up, you know. As far as you guys may know about when it comes to bond with federal prison, hey man, good luck. Good luck. And them trials don't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? With something like this, even though they got everything, man. But all these dudes getting picked up, and my man in Texas got picked up for that Mo 3 murder. When celebrities are involved, they're going to make an example of you. They're not playing with these numbers. Especially Mo 3, they wondering, the one kid, he got caught for he got caught with the pistol, having a felon, the murder for hire, but he's still waiting trial for the Mo 3 murder. But now this dude, they gonna hit him with some ish for conspiracy. Man, look, y'all be letting this stuff fool y'all about trying to be a gangster and whatnot. I'm about to pay my check. You forgot what? I forgot. Okay, no problem. Yeah. So you got these guys doing this, man. Y'all think this cool? You know, you only get one time here, guys. You only get one time here. And if you want to be behind a wall with a bunch of men, a bunch of hard legs, and you know what I mean. Y'all can have that. I'm good on that. Why would you want to give up something as good as some buns? And I'm not talking about man buns. I'm talking about women buns. You know what I mean? Anything Rico, yeah, it's Rico. Anything Rico, you don't want to be affiliated with anything Rico at all. Anything involving racketeering, mafia, organized crime, you don't want to be affiliated with any of that, bro. It sounds cool, in the game, you may look cool that you're able to do this stuff, but bro, and talk about it. Look at my man who claimed he killed Tupac. Well, he was in the car that killed Tupac. TPD. You want to go and talk about it afterwards and look at your ass. That's not the place to be in your 60s, bro. I'm assuming Big U is in his late 50s. Bricc Baby's in his mid 30s. Yella Beezy is in his mid 30s, I think. That's not where you want to be at, bro. Luce Cannon, I'm assuming he's late 30s, early 40s. Man, look. I mean, no, prison isn't the place you want to be at, period. Whack 100, they say, why they saying Whack 100 told? According to that, they were saying that Big U was saying that Whack 100 was working with the feds. I ain't even got into Charleston White yet, which y'all remind me to talk about this Charleston White situation with this. But they said Big U was saying that Whack 100 was making all these statements implicating him and all this funny business, and that's why the feds came down on him. And he's saying basically Whack 100 is like a confidential informant or something like that. He's working with the feds, and said that he was with them when they raided his houses and things like that. You know what I mean? So that's why he's saying that it was Whack 100 that did that. Now, Charleston White, as you guys know about Charleston White had said he contacted the feds in LA when Bricc Baby made a video with $10,000 on top of his head, saying that he got when he was in Houston, I think, saying he's got 10,000 on Charleston White's head. So he reported that, and he reported that to the FBI, saying that this guy put a hit out on him, and saying that this a lot of this stuff may have stemmed from that. But I think it's bigger than that. They just like, bro, these folks, y'all just don't know like the amount of surveillance and people that's ratting, people that's telling that they can come and get you for whatever, and you don't stand a chance. You guys, whether it's taxes, whatever, you guys need to watch what you're doing out there, and you don't want to play with the federal government, man. You got unlimited resources. You're dealing with an entity that has unlimited resources. Not to say that the state, you got the state is different, state is what it is, but the federal government has unlimited resources, bro. And y'all think y'all playing, y'all getting away with stuff. I mean, these phones, like they know like wiretapping, people snitching, people getting paid, people telling. You threaten somebody's life and say, "I'm gonna put you away for the rest of your life." People start talking, people start telling, man. That's just how it is. Yeah, Big U did have a what I say? Big yeah, let me sign up real quick. Yeah. Big U did there you go. Dollars 177. What I say? Yeah. So Big U had a podcast called Checking In. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's crazy how it got to that point, man. Even Big U making videos before he go back in claiming his innocence. You know what I mean? You would never think a lot of this stuff. Like even when he was making those videos, I just thought that was weird. And I'm not involved in anything gangster at all. Never been involved in anything gangster. But I mean in terms of talking, and if I had anything to do with somebody being deleted or anything to do with ordering somebody to be deleted or drugs, I wouldn't be anywhere near the internet, bro. But that's what some people think. Like when you hide in plain sight, it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? If you hiding in plain sight, this is all entertainment. We getting the bag off entertainment and making money off of gangster them. You know. So, but checking in, I don't agree with that. You know, it being an aggressor or trying to intimidate another black man. I think if y'all read Will Smith's book, Will Smith talked about when he first got to LA, Suge Knight was trying to make him check in and all this way back when. It's crazy, man, how that goes on. But we can get into some other stuff in terms of preventing all this. You know what I mean? Or it's supposed to be starting out policing your neighborhoods and all these things like that. But when it comes to racketeering and intimidation and threats and stuff like that, that's not cool. Shaking people down, frightening people, scaring people. Nah, that's not what community is about. You know what I mean? That's not what community is about. Being a stepper and all this stuff like that. You step to protect your neighborhood. You don't do that to destroy your neighborhood and, you know, delete people for ridiculous reasons because of a color that they're wearing. Yeah, that dude 600 was saying something about that. He was a confidential informant from what I heard. You know what I mean? But it's weirdo stuff going on, man. With all this crap, man. This stuff is crazy. Yeah, never ask white folks to check in. That's facts. You know, but you'll go pull up to a dude hotel where he's staying at and all that and try to shake him down. That's crazy to me, man. You know. But that's what they call that gang politics. I'm just some dude commenting on the outside. I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. I'm just commenting on it on the outside, bringing it to you guys real quick, man. So you know. But for the rest of the world, it's appealing. It's exciting. Doing drills, doing missions, the hunt. I don't know, guys. I just figured I'd go live and just chop it up with you guys, man. You know. Yeah, man. You doing stuff that eventually, man, all that stuff, like they say, you don't find too many rich gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? You don't find guys who robbing that are rich, at least not on that level. It's white collar robbery who's making money, but you don't find rich gangsters or nothing like that, man. So that's why I say if you believe in karma, that's cool. And if you don't, that's cool too. You know, there's one thing that just for you guys to think about. So it's getting cold out here, man. It's going on 11. I still got to ride home. I thought it was going to be in the 60s. So I just came to bring the news to you guys real quick and get you guys' thoughts on it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. For those of you watching the restream, let me know what you guys think, man. And what do you think is going to happen to all these individuals that got hit with this RICO? Comment below, man. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitch if you haven't yet. And because I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming, all throughout. And with that being said, guys, much blessings and abundance, man. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.